As you can see, the problem. Alright, welcome back to the broadcast today. We've gotten a very good amount of our brush cleaned up around this little pond, or what was once a pond, and we're trying to make a pond again. And this customer's got me contracted for 2 days, 16 hours. So he's wanting me to kindly budget my time between cleaning up around the outside edges of the pond, cleaning all the saplings out of the pond, but they also want a little peninsula here. So we got to find somewhere to get some good clay dirt and then move it to here. So I've got to figure that out. I don't have time to do a borrow pit and load it in the dump truck and move it over to here. So therein lies the question. I see a little bit of a hillside there I can take out of. Right here, I think, is where the water comes to, the water's edge. So, and you can see all this is really wet. And really the only place to get material from is up above it. See how soft that is? We can't use that ground to build a peninsula. It'll just soak water up and they won't be able to put anything on it. So it looks like somebody built a berm through here. To catch the water and keep it from washing down onto the pond from this end, maybe to prevent erosion. So what I think I'm going to do is sneak in behind here, strip all this off. Hopefully we can get down to a clay layer pretty quickly. Strip the topsoil back and put it back. I'll have you guys in the cab with me for a little while, and then we'll go external and get some footage from that way. I know everybody likes different angles. Just try to accommodate everybody. That's pretty red dirt right there. Of dirt to do this. So what I'm going to do is try to just not go too deep right away, and just kind of spread it out so it's not just a hole in the side of the hill. That's my thinking. As my peninsula is going to be, I'm going to try to double or triple that in width from the area that I'm taking away from. out, so it's nice and brown and kind of fluffy. Yeah, that red stuff, it ain't much count. That clanging you hear is not a bell, it's a little metal latch that is like a safety. So that quick coupler don't just open up on its own. I think that'll make a nice little peninsula right there. Now we got a 20-foot reach with our boom. What I need to do is get my blade to set level, just like that. We'll start borrowing some dirt. Now that stuff packs in there. That is gonna be a good dirt for this. Boy, it's gonna pack up in that bucket and be a pain. Upset when I bottom my cylinders out, and it's just an annoying sound, so I'm gonna try not to do it today too hard. Yeah, no. Probably end up having to go back into this hillside quite a bit. They'll have them on the peninsula though. They certainly will. Long reed coming up. Well, that's a pot. A drain up there. We'll just leave that pipe and don't go any further past that. I was unaware. I'm sure the homeowner was too. Won't borrow any more from that direction, will we? Alright, let me scuff that out and pack it in. everything I'm going to from this little spot. So now we'll just go ahead and do a little quick time lapse. I'm just going to grade everything out over here so it doesn't look quite so much just like it's just been dug out and left. I may go ahead and get this topsoil, bring it back on, and track it onto it as well. Let's see how it goes. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm just gonna let this dry up as the day goes along, and I'm gonna let the topsoil dry out so that dirt will turn loose of the clumps of grass a little bit, and it'll be easier to kind of dress this, and should turn out pretty good. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna walk out on the little peninsula we're building and dig the ground around the sides of it to make it really deep around the sides, and to encourage the catfish to stay close to the peninsula, which is what he wants to fish from. So we'll jump on that. I think it might be neat. I'll show you guys. So starting back from our original borrow area, Peninsula starts right here. So we built it out 20 feet, 25 feet. So instead of just going straight out here, I'm actually going to put a little bend in it, make it look a little bit neater. I think that'd be cool. You guys tell me what you think and how you would do it. This stuff's really fluffed up now. Boy, that's heavy. That is heavy. What I like to do is drop it belly on that edge, and then every so often I can track it, and they'll just keep mashing it over and over and over. That's some heavy stuff. What I'm going to do is actually spin my machine, blade right here, and dig it in evenly. Slide him in real good, and that'll help stabilize me on this initial lift. See how it doesn't bounce me now? By the job, it would actually be pretty easy to run the numbers and figure out how much each bucket holds and how long it takes you to transfer a bucket. I just looked at the job and talked to the customer and got an idea of what he was wanting, and we've been playing together in a price. So again, I cleaned out both sides of the pond. I'm gonna try to get in the middle again once I get this peninsula done. $3,000, so if that helps you guys bidding these things. Once I get it piled up, see, that stuff's going to pack down a lot because it's been fluffed twice now. So what I do is I raise my blade all the way up and I just start pushing. And my tracks are going to hang about this far over that front edge. It's not going to tip yet. I'm going to back up. You guys can see where it's packed and how much. A lot. So we're going to pack the whole width of it. See, it took that many scoops to move this whole thing out about 6 inches. If that. Just going to keep doing this. Good and packed in. Now we're going to transfer some more dirt. You can see how this side was packing off a lot and the machine started to tilt. I'm just going to take that dirt, push it into that track, just like that. And I'm just going to track over it again. If that dirt's really wet, it'll just keep on mushing out. So if that's the case, reach over here and find some really good dry stuff, and you'll want to put that in your track. Warm, dry day, so that stuff will dry pretty quick. While it's setting for a minute, I'm just going to go ahead and pull more dirt. Wash, rinse, repeat. Great clusters I was talking about. Get off to the side. Peninsula before it's over with. It's going to turn out quite nicely. Leave it pounded up, let the very end of it dry out real good, and he can push it in with his tractor and pack it later on. Leave it up to him what he wants to do. I think that would be the best way to go, but we'll see what he wants. Caked in there. That's a lot of weight. through it. Come on. That has been sitting there for some time. Toward myself like that, but I had to get it broke out somehow. Just waiting for wasps to come out on me. We're still cleaning around the perimeter of this old pond, but we're definitely making some good ground. You can see we cleared pretty much all of those nasty scrub trees. I'm gonna get that big guy right there last. Moving right along. I'm guessing he probably just wants to burn this old dock. Burn that styrofoam. I am not sure. If there's anything living under here, might be some rabbits. We'll take it easy. See if I can just lift it up a little bit initially. I don't see anybody home. Nope. I believe that dock has seen better days. That thing's just disintegrated. I'll throw it on the pile over there and let the owner decide what he wants to do with it. That's some old styrofoam. Old. That may have been some good treated wood at one time. Burn them up. What a mess. What a mess. Seems like mess has been my to-do here lately. Golly, that stuff's just falling apart. Go ahead and get what we got. I'm here for the trees. It's a bit dusty. Toss this on the pile. Well, we got that pine tree cleaned up, and this is what's left of it. We are moving it right along. There's gonna be a heck of a bonfire when he sparks this thing up. They finally lifted the burn ban on the western part of the state, so I'll be able to run back up to that last cleanup job. Burn hopefully in the next few days. I hope. A bunch of junk. Try not to break the bricks on that live tree. I got the big parts of this job cleaned up. Too much dirt. Most of that's rotten wood right there. Let that root. edge. Pumping this thing rebuilt. It's just not running too smooth. All this right here will be underwater in about 2 weeks apparently. And I wouldn't doubt that this thing will fill up that quick. There's our big dead pine. I didn't record that because that took some muscling around. Quite time consuming. Get up here and get this other one. Alright. We'll dig out from around that drain pipe out there. So we'll see how firm everything is. It's surprising. Of it, that stem pipe's a little bit high, and I think that's holding just enough water everywhere that you can see. So if I can just get out here and dig around him just a touch and maybe bust that pipe, I think it'll help him get all of this out. There's a concrete collar around that joker. I'm just feeling my way along here, because if I see that pipe move, I know I've gotten a hold of whatever it's set in. But it's not what I want to do. I don't want to bust the concrete for sure. There's something hard right there. Set in a precast something, or see that water level dropping as I pull this stuff out. I don't know if it's a precast something or if they just poured concrete around the joint. So I want to kindly do this a little bit gingerly. I like to not be covered in mud. So. Whatever it is, it's set in, it's not real big at all. I about wore it that time. Water level to draw back and see what I'm working against over here. There it is. Something glass sitting there, like a baby bottle or something. Yep, that's a precast box. Glory be. How about that? There'll be a little copper dam here. That is a squared off piece of concrete. I can get all that loose. Yep, precast box. pipe. It's rusted out so bad. I think I'm gonna do him a favor and just pinch this so the whole pond will drain better. Ain't no using that no more. Look at that. That metal's still shiny right there nearly. That is all right. Got that out. Now this whole area should dry up pretty well. Oh, shucks. Walk out there right now. But the good thing is with that pipe down, all that area around it should dry up now. Let's just back out of here a little bit. Go ahead and dig this area out a touch. Slope these edges so it don't cave in right away. Yeah, quick house filling up. Now I'm going to dig him a ditch out through there so he can just pump it through that drain pipe along that other side. This to where if something falls in, it can crawl back out like a kid or something. Take it back. All right, very good, very, very good. I'm gonna try to clean up around that. I'm about to build me a road here. Get over here without falling in too close. I do not want to bust the pipe that's going under there, so I'm not going to mess around there too much. It is probably pretty deep. See if I can just kind of scrape this away. Out. Don't want mud to get in there, so push that mud away. Something hard is thick right there. I don't know why in the world they would have put that precast that far up through there, but they did. Let's see now. That's gonna be good right there. Once that stuff dries up a little more for him, he'll be in business. Ought to make him a little road for his tractor here. That's what I'll do. Build him a road. Excavator can climb this, but that his tractor can't. So he needs a road. I'm gonna build him a road. Re-slope this later on. I'm benching into this, and he actually wants me to leave the little road. This high, so actually everywhere you see bog will drain. It'll take a long time, but if you let this sit, every bit of that would dry up. So I'm just going to continue along. Ooh, that's a good little stump right there. We're going to keep on working our way up through here. If I had a dozer, I could just angle the blade and push a road in, but I don't have one. Unfortunately, I'd love to have one. something. Maybe one day I'll be able to afford the nice things in life. Till then, we're gonna work with what we got. Whoever built this dam did it right. It is packed good. Kind of a little ditch like you. Sling mud on you one way or another. Might put a little ditch line in here. Just cutting this little road in for myself. But it'll benefit him in the future too. Touch base when I get this done and let you guys see what we got. Alrighty, we have made a pretty good day. Had to clean up a tree right here. Let's walk down and check our pond out. Alright, I did end up going ahead and grabbing the topsoil we had here. It dried out good. I just kind of halfway roughed this in to let it dry out overnight. We're not done with our little peninsula, but our water line's going to come right through here roughly. Here's a good little pit for their catfish to wallow in, and hopefully this dries out good tonight. And my plan is pull the machine out, park right here, reach out and pull that topsoil up and make this a little bit more sloped. So it's moving right along. I'll dress that a little bit. Turned out pretty good. That's a whole bunch of brush, and there's a pile just as big on the other side. I really think that if I had torn that down pipe, what was left of it, out maybe a couple of weeks before coming up here, this would have all dried up enough for me to be able to walk out and just tear all that out. But moving right along. So I've had a great day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I didn't bore you to death, and you guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.